Hello everyone, my name is Elweeweeanna and I'm from class LG2431A. Today I'm going to talk about one of the most fundamental yet fascinating aspect of language, which is adjective. Adjectives are words that modify or describe nouns and pronouns. They help us add details about emotion, precision, and language. Imagine trying to describe sunset without words like brilliant, orange, or peaceful. It would be flat and colorless. Adjectives are the tools that allow us to paint pictures with words. In this presentation, I'll cover types of adjectives, their order, how they function in a sentence, some stylistic nuance, and even a brief look at how adjectives differ across language. Let's begin with the type of adjective. There are several categories, each with its own function. First of all, it is a descriptive adjective. This describes the quality or appearance of noun. For example, a beautiful garden and an ancient temple. Second is the quantitative adjective. This describes the amount or number of something like many, few, or several. The third is the demonstrative adjective. Words like this, that, these, and those point to a specific item. For example, I want that book. Fourth is the possessive adjective. This shows ownership, like my, your, his, and their. And the fifth is the interrogative adjective. It's used in questions such as which and what. For example, which subject do you like the most? And the last one is the comparative and superlative adjective. This expresses degrees of comparison. For example, tall, positive. Taller is a comparative and tallest is the superlative. Each category helps us express more precise and meaningful thoughts. Together, they allow us to specify, clarify, and describe in detail. Now, let's look at the curious feature of English, the order of adjective. When we use multiple adjectives before noun, they typically follow this pattern. They're starting from the opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, and purpose. We can memorize it using words osascom. For example, we say a lovely small old round red Italian marble table. For other words like a marble red Italian lovely small old around the table just sounds off. Even native speaker often can explain the rule, but we intuitively. Now let's take a look at the adjective in syntax. Adjective function in two main ways within a sentence. The first is the attributive adjective that comes after a noun, for example, the blue sky. And the second is the predicative adjective that comes after a linking verb. For example, the sky is blue. They can also appear in a longer structure in adjective phrases. For example, a man eager to help, or in an adjective clauses, the book that was interesting. Understanding this role helps us to build more expressive or grammatically correct semantic and stylistic consideration. Adjectives do more than just describe. They shape tones, clarity, and emotional nuance. For example, a slim and skinny. Both describe someone who is thin but slim is often more positive than the skinny. It sounds more critical. Adjective can convey subtle attitude. For example, spicy versus overly spicy and affordable versus cheap. In academic writing, we prefer adjectives that are objective and precise, avoiding vague or emotionally. Next is the cross-linguistic perspective. Not all languages treat the adjective the same way. In Mandarin Chinese, adjectives often function like accusative verbs. For example, instead of saying she is tired, one might say she's tired. This difference can pose challenge for language learner, especially with English adjective order, which can seem arbitrary but is deeply ingrained in native usage. To wrap up, adjectives are much more simpler than descriptive words. They enrich our language, sharpen our meaning, and reflect reflect cultural and linguistic pattern. So the next time you read a poem, write an email, or describe a favorite meal, take a moment to appreciate the adjective doing the heavy lifting behind the scenes. Thank you for listening.